Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Nissa. I'm a certified holistic sexuality educator. This is my daughter Willow and my nephew Gavin. And we are going to learn some sex ed at home today. We're going to be following this awesome curriculum and activity guide from the people at ThePornConversation.org. Go ahead and visit there. You can download yours yourself and follow along with us. Just so you know, the homework and questions and activities that are included in this guide aren't going to be included in this video because we need to save time and make this, digestible. Let's get started. A person's sex anatomy includes the external anatomy, what you notice on the outside of the body, and the internal anatomy, what's not noticeable because it's inside of your body. This includes your reproductive organs. Usually, these reproductive organs help your body work as you grow into an adult. We have many of the same body parts, but they don't always look the same. When a baby is born, a doctor assigns a sex based on the appearance of its genitals. A baby born with a vulva is typically assigned female at birth. A baby born with a penis is typically assigned male at birth. A baby born with a variation of internal and or external sex anatomy is assigned intersex at birth. The sex assigned at birth is found on a baby's birth certificate. And it's generally based on what their genitals include, but this is only part of what makes a person. Assigned male at birth or assigned female at birth, there are also internal parts such as ovaries or testes, a mix of hormones and chromosomes. Remember, different doesn't mean bad or wrong because there is no such thing as normal when it comes to bodies and nature. So go ahead and take a look at your external sex anatomy of a person assigned female at birth. Get out a pen or a pencil and fill in these parts as I explain them to you. The mons pubis. This is the area that's located under the belly button and right above the vulva. It's a squishy spot that protects the pubic area, and it may be covered in hair following puberty. The vulva. The vulva is the outer part of the genitalia of a person assigned female at birth. The whole thing. It includes the labia, the clitoris, the urethra, and the opening of the vagina. Labia. The labia are the folds of skin known as the lips of the vulva. Their purpose is to cover and protect the vaginal opening. They are plump and sensitive to the touch. There are two sets of labia. The outer labia in this picture are the white labia, and the inner labia are the more gray toned ones in this picture. So inner labia, outer labia. They are located from the tip of the clitoris all the way past the opening of the vagina. Labias are all unique. They come in different sizes and colors. They can be long or short, and most of the time they aren't the same size as each other. They range in color from pink to brown to purple. And following puberty, the outer labia may become covered in pubic hair. Okay, next is the clitoris. Clitoris. The clitoris or the glans is located at the top part of the vulva. Everyone's clitoris looks different. The clitoris can be as tiny as a pencil eraser or as large as a baby carrot. It is much larger on the inside of your body. The tip is all you can see outside of the body. It's the most sensitive point on the human body. It's right there. Yeah. Next, we have the clitoral hood. This is the fold of skin that covers the clitoris.
I think I know what that is.
Depending on the person, this can be larger or smaller. The purpose is to protect the clitoris. The urethral opening. The urethral opening is also known as
The pee hole.
Pee hole.
the pee hole, is where urine or pee comes out and is located below the clitoris. It's that teeny tiny little hole. Pee hole. All right. Next we have the vaginal opening. The vestibule, otherwise known as the vaginal opening,
That's what it's called.
is located right below the urethral opening, or the...
Pee hole.
This is the space where babies are pushed out during childbirth and where blood leaves the body during menstruation. It's also where vaginal penetration or sexual intercourse may occur. Vaginal opening.
Vaginal opening.
The hymen, which isn't shown here,
What?
is a very thin fleshy tissue that stretches across the vaginal canal. It depends on the person, but it can cover a larger or smaller part of the vaginal canal. The hymen can tear naturally over time or through physical activities like sports. The tearing of the hymen is an internal tear, and it's not as painful as some people think. A torn or stretched hymen does not mean that a vulva owner has had sexual intercourse. That is a fallacy. The Skene's glands, which also are not listed here, the Skene's glands are located on each side of the urethral opening. They are what makes some people, assigned female at birth, release fluid called urea, sometimes during sex. This is often referred to as squirting. Urea is not urine. It's made in our bodies and exits through the urethra. Notice how the names are similar. Urea, urine, urethra, but they are each different. Bartholin's glands ducts.
Lens.
That's a really hard word to say. Not duck like quack quack.
Yeah, actually.
Bartholin's glands ducts
Quack, quack.
are the opening to the Bartholin's glands located right at the vaginal opening. One on the left and the other on the right. It's the site where the secretions leave the body,
Secretion.
which makes the vagina wet and keeps it lubricated. They are named after the doctor who discovered them. Something to discuss later. Next we have the anus.
Oh.
Oh.
The anus is the opening to the rectum, and it's also where feces or
Poop.
Poop.
comes out. It's one of the most sensitive areas of the body. It is also the site where anal penetration or sexual intercourse may occur.
Butthole.
Butthole.
I know where the butthole is.
Yeah.
The anus.
So smart.
Anus.
So now we finished the external anatomy. And we're
Yeah.
going to go to the internal sex anatomy of a person assigned female at birth. The vaginal opening.
Vaginal opening.
Wow.
The vaginal opening is the exterior opening to the vagina. It is the muscular canal that extends from the cervix to the outside of the body. Vaginal opening.
Yeah.
The vagina
I love it.
is a tunnel-like muscular and elastic organ that connects the vulva with the cervix and the urethra. Whoa,
It's the uterus.
you are right. Connects the cervix and the uterus.
Not the
My bad.
The uterus.
Okay. Vagina.
A vagina.
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 A vagina.
It's the final tunnel where babies and menstrual blood travel through to leave the body. Boop. It is also the site where vaginal penetration or sexual intercourse may occur. Next, we have the cervix. The cervix is a round organ that separates the vagina from the uterus. Cervix, it's right there. The hole in the middle, called the os, is where the uterus and vagina connect. When babies are born, the cervix expands for the baby to come out during the vaginal birth. This is also the site where menstrual blood leaves during periods, where pap smears and HPV tests also take place, and where sperm enters the body during vaginal sex. All right, next we have the uterus. The uterus is the shape of a pear and about the size of one too. Some people with a uterus call their uterus a womb.
Woomba.
Moving on, fallopian tubes. The fallopian tubes are a pair of tubes that help carry eggs from the ovaries to the uterus. This is also where sperm travels through to reach the eggs to fertilize them and possibly make a baby. Ovaries. The ovaries are like a little nest that stores eggs.
A little nest.
These are the ovaries. They're a little nest. They release one or more eggs each month, which is how periods or pregnancy happen. Do you hear that? One or more
Wow.
each month.
Or more.
Or more.
Or more.
They're also responsible for producing hormones, which are some of the special chemicals that make your body do different things, like grow with puberty, make babies, or menstruate. Next we have, the G-spot, which is not shown here. The G-spot is short for Grafenberg spot. It is located a few inches inside the opening of the vagina
Inches?
towards the belly button. So it's like inside and then towards the belly button. When a vulvar owner gets aroused, it swells up. It is also named after the doctor who discovered it. Something else to discuss at the dinner table. That's the vulva. For some reason, we missed that
Thanks for that.
one. That little, like,
Oh, wow.
area. Okay, let's move on to this one. The clitoris, the internal part of the clitoris. This is the internal clitoris.
Internal.
It's the largest part of the clitoris. It includes the crus clitoris, which are the legs of the clitoris, and bulbs of the vestibule. This pair of bulbs extend through and behind the labia, passing by the urethra, vaginal canal, and towards the anus. The bulbs and crus clitoris are made up of erectile tissue, which fills with blood.
Wow.
Let's label them,
Yeah.
the parts of the internal clitoris.
Parts.
The glans clitoris.
Glans clitoris.
That's the part you can see. The glans clitoris is the only part of the clitoris that is noticeable externally.
Wow.
It does not contain erectile structures, but it is very sensitive to touch and filled with nerve endings. The bulb of vestibule. A set of bulbs of erectile tissue that extend towards the urethra and vagina.
Vagina.
During sexual arousal, the vestibular bulbs will fill with blood and double in size. Sorry. Ready for this big word?
Well, I don't even know what that says.
I know, my writing's bad. Corpus cavernosum. Often referred to as the legs of the clitoris, these structures are made up of erectile tissue that extend about 5 to 9 centimeters into the pelvis. During sexual arousal, the corpus cavernosum fills with blood and becomes erect. All right, next we have the crus clitoris. This is the continuation on each side of the corpus cavernosum that attaches to the pubic arch. Next we have the Bartholin's glands.
No.
Wait, is it
What?
glands?
You see it.
The Bartholin's glands, a set of glands about the size of a pea that are located right at the vaginal opening. One on the left and the other on the right. They are responsible for making the vagina wet and keeping it lubricated. Guess what? We're done with the...
What? No,
we're not.
What?
Oh.
What do we have left?
That and that.
did not discuss those ones. The urethral opening is not part of the clitoris, FYI, which is why we didn't talk about it, but we'll point these out. The urethral opening is there.
Mm-hmm. The vaginal.
The vaginal opening
Yeah.
is there.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay, moving on. Please take a look at the external sex anatomy of a person assigned male at birth.
I have 2 of these.
Yes, because one is for an intact penis
Oh.
and one is for a circumcised penis.
That does look different.
They're both basically the same thing. It's just one has a foreskin and one does not. So why don't you get the one that says intact penis. The penis is made up of 3 layers of spongy tissues. When a penis is soft, it is referred to as flaccid.
Flaccid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes a penis fills up with blood, gets hard, and stands up, which is what we call an erection. Or a hard-on.
Hard on.
Penises come in all shapes and sizes and grow with age up until the end of puberty, which is like teenager dumb.
Teenager dumb.
Most penises are about 5 to 7 inches or 13 to 18 centimeters long. When a penis gets hard, it can sometimes be straight or curved. Every penis is unique and there is no normal shape or size for it to be. No normal.
No normal.
Depending on a person's religion or medical reasons, they may have a circumcised, cut, or intact, uncut penis.
Penis.
A circumcision is a procedure when a doctor removes the foreskin of a penis. The foreskin is a piece of skin that surrounds the glands or head of the penis. This is usually decided at birth or within the first days after the birth, depending on the parent's culture or religious belief. Let's go through and read the following parts of the external sex anatomy of a person assigned male at birth.
Glands.
Glands. It's not a gland, it's a glans. The glans is the head of the penis. For some, this is one of the most sensitive parts of the penis. It's also where you can find the urethral opening where urine or pee and semen or cum exit. The urethral opening
It's not legal.
is where the urine and semen exits the body after ejaculation. This is also where pre-ejaculatory fluid or pre-cum is released. The shaft is the tube-like part of the penis
Tube.
that extends from the mons pubis to the glans or head of the penis. Next we have the
Foreskin.
foreskin. The foreskin is only found on intact penises. The foreskin is a sleeve of skin that covers and protects the glans or head of the penis. When a penis becomes hard or erect during arousal, the skin can be moved down to reveal the glans or head. This skin is the part that's removed for a circumcision. The frenulum is the V-shaped skin attachment where the foreskin attaches to the penis. It is located on the underside of the penis. Next we have the scrotum. You can just make your own label here.
That's what I did.
Yeah, the scrotum.
The scrotum.
The scrotum, otherwise known as the,
Ball sack.
is the skin that hangs right below the penis. The scrotum holds the testicles and makes sure they remain at the right temperature. This is why sometimes the sac moves closer to the body when a penis owner is cold, and when the body is warm, it moves further from the body. They are also very sensitive to touch. During and after puberty, the skin on the scrotum becomes wrinkly and grows pubic hair. Like the penis, the scrotum comes in all shapes, colors, and sizes. Next we have the anus.
Baho.
Baho.
The anus is the opening to the rectum, and it's where feces or poop comes out. It's one of the most sensitive areas of the body. It's also the site where anal penetration or sexual intercourse may occur. All right, finish that one. Please take a look at the internal sex anatomy of a person assigned male at birth. Internal. The testicles. Testicles are two ball-shaped glands that are located inside the scrotum or ball sack. What are you saying, Gavin?
I just said testes.
Testes. Yes. The testes are responsible for making sperm and the hormone called testosterone. Yeah. To function, they must be regulated by the body's temperature, which is why the scrotum moves up towards the body when cold and down away from the body when hot. Epididymis.
Epididymis.
Good luck spelling that one. Epididymis. This is a tube-like structure.
Tube.
Little tube. Located behind each testicle that helps develop and hold the sperm as it matures before it passes to the vas deferens. The vas deferens.
Dang.
These are a set of long tubes that connect the epididymis to the seminal vesicles. These are responsible for the internal transportation of sperm before a penis owner ejaculates. The seminal vesicles. These are a pair of two small organs, boop, boop, located right under the bladder. That's the bladder. That produce the semen or cum that carries the sperm out of the penis. The prostate gland.
Prostate gland. It's not the butt gland.
It is not the butt gland.
Oh.
You can feel it through the anus, but it is not a butt gland.
Not the butt.
This is the prostate gland. Prostate gland.
Mm-hmm.
It is about the size and shape of a walnut and is located in front of the bladder and in front of the rectum. In front of the rectum.
In front
Willow.
of the rectum.
In front of the rectum.
It is where semen or cum is made. This part is extremely sensitive, and it may be pleasurable to touch.
Wow.
For some.
For some.
All right. The Cowper's gland.
Cowpers?
What's with all the glands?
Cowper's gland.
Moo.
It's this little gland right there. Lots of glands, huh? This is where pre-ejaculatory fluid, or pre-cum, is stored. It's storage. Right. The glands are located under the prostate and attached to the urethra. It's a little. Right there. Pre-ejaculatory fluid is created before a person ejaculates, and it cleans the urethra to allow semen to move more easily out of the urethra during ejaculation. Urethra. Boop, right there. The urethra is where urine, or pee, and semen, or
Cum.
go through the urethral opening. It's also known as the
Peel.
the cremaster muscle. Cremaster muscle. I'm not quite sure. I like cremaster. I say things weird. Tomato. The cremaster is the muscle that is able to move the scrotum. It's not on here.
Oh.
It holds the testicles closer to the body to control the temperature. It moves it. They are located on each side of the body, one on the right, one on the left. The scrotum can move for various reasons, like when there is a temperature change or when the penis owner is aroused. We're done with this one.
Bladder.
Oh, bladder. We forgot the bladder. Bladder's right there. Boop. Okay.
Literally just went right back to you.
Now, let's talk a little about body neutrality. Everyone has a body,
Whoa.
Shocker. There's no such thing as having a normal body type. Bodies come in all shapes and sizes and develop at different rates. There's nothing wrong with developing faster or slower than others. Everyone has their own unique process of growing up. Body image is how one feels about their body, not how it looks. Every person has a body image, and it's up to us as individuals to figure out what makes us feel good about ourselves. And this may change throughout our lifetimes. Body neutrality is the approach of focusing on what your body feels rather than what it looks like. This allows us to make sure we are giving our body what it wants rather than feeling influenced by outside pressures. We all have bodies, we all have needs, and our bodies are what they are.
Bodies.
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 Bodies are bodies.
We receive a lot of confusing messages about how the outside of our bodies should look. These messages come from the media, family, and peers, friends. The media doesn't represent all types of bodies equally. Often, various genders, sizes, skin colors, abilities, and body types aren't equally represented in the media. The messages we receive about body image can really affect the way we feel about ourselves. It's important to keep a neutral body image, especially when going through the changes of puberty. Every person deserves to feel happy and beautiful as they go through the process of growing up. Body acceptance is the practice of radical self-acceptance and helps us understand that all bodies have value and deserve to be represented and cared for. Now let's discuss disabled and non-normative bodies. The term for people whose bodies and minds move or function differently than others is a person with disabilities. Non-normative bodies is a term people with disabilities have used to describe their bodies as ones that are labeled not ideal by society. You may notice the symbol of disability is the wheelchair sign, but disability comes in many forms, and some people with disability don't need to use a mobility aid like a wheelchair. You can't always tell if someone is disabled or not just by looking at them. These people may have invisible disabilities. Some examples of invisible disabilities are mental illnesses, a learning disability, or even a food allergy. People with disabilities are as deserving of respect and joy as anyone else. Someone's difference doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. Some people are born with their disabilities as babies, and others develop their disabilities later in life. Oftentimes, people assume that people with disabilities are asexual, meaning they do not feel sexually attracted to others. This is a form of ableism, discrimination based on the belief that there is one right way to have a body and mind is called ableism. The reality is, many people with disabilities can engage in sexual behavior and have healthy sexual and romantic relationships. As with everyone, some people may be asexual no matter their ability, race, or gender. No matter what your abilities are, you may still feel sexually and emotionally attracted to other people. People with disabilities have the same range of sexual orientations and gender identities as non-disabled people. Discrimination based on the belief that there is one right way to have a body and mind is called ableism. Ways we witness ableism play out in the world is when a non-normative bodied actor plays a disabled character, and when schools segregate disabled and non-disabled students. Whether a person has a physical disability or invisible disability, it's important to treat them as you would any other person. Feeling included is important to everyone, and being a good friend means speaking, listening, and engaging with respect. As you figure out friendship and how you want to be a friend, it's important to know what hurts your friends. Imitating a person with a disability or laughing at them is hurtful and not respectful of the friendship. There are many similarities between disabled and non-disabled people. There's always something you can find in common with others. Sharing a favorite sport, or maybe even having the same musical tastes. It's important to remember that all bodies have value and all bodies deserve care. They do.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed lesson 1 of this fabulous curriculum and activity guide. I hope you join us again for lesson number 2. Yeah! Peace.